Good morning. Yeah, good. This test. You don't reply. This is good morning. Sanje Jeda Janju Baranga Dani Yamsun Je Dagi Jinso Jibe Sanje Rola Benje Sanje Robajo in the Buddha. Semje Tamje Devana Devi Judan Dembara Juraje Donga Dan Donga Ji Judan Rawa Juraje Dongala Mebe Devana Rawa Juraje Nyere Da Rawe Da Nyun Jembola Mebara Juraje Meonli. Sa shi bu ju ju shi me do dam re ra len yi ni de yen ban de san ye shen do me de bo lo wa yi zhe ge nan da xin la ye ba yu. 오면 제제 바라네 도좀 산제 군중고니 란좀 쳐고 무슨 돈제베 자벨라마 남라고 잔자 발된 자벨라마 뭐제 다게 저르베메 demjola kadin chembe kone je zonde go zon to je ngodo zando so daso semjen ta je je ju minjing to re jinje labdo so samba janju chodo toje de chu sambrasho.
Is form the altruistic motivation of bodhicitta, and in that spirit, please listen to the teachings.
Especially good morning to YouTube audience. Um, every day I want to say hello to you, but somehow carried away by positive distractions. So today officially touch the leg, and if you have really, really, really important questions, I think you can send like 3 importance. I'm not joking. Yeah, so I'll keep in my mind you are here also. Then da Shinegirimba Saddle Border Dang Shinegirimba Tarsons.
Shine Chasang.
Shine the Hakogre Mancha
Yes.
Shinela Shine Tenjin Sangichik Kazan Wang Shila Teni Salwa Tanglo Shayata Yana Mixu and go down, oak down. Then the ten sem salange the main was Shayatella, then gens support Karena. The Demi saying the Salcha Korangola, Salatome Mewe Shivatanga Lange Shawadala Shines. That the main was Chadella, the Jambatan Session George Grace.
So this, so we've completed discussing now the stages of subtle body practice, as well as the stages of shamatha practice. And as a reminder, shamatha practice is something that most of us have knowledge of already. And basically there's two types, shamatha with support and shamatha without support. Shamatha with support takes a particular object as the support for the mind's clarity. So it could be a visual object, visualized object, the breath, and so forth, which the mind is tethered to in its practice of shamatha. And then shamatha without support is just taking the clarity of the mind itself and resting in that natural clarity without a particular object of support. And the sustaining of that recognition of clarity is done by mindfulness and vigilance, or vigilant awareness. That's what sustains the recognition of clarity.
Yangda gomshin. Ani yondengi riktao chekda yang parche riktao ni yongre sayerta parche sanai. It's just part of the package. Shinen kombi capsula part of the package nala ani dewa salwa metope ki nyamya yongre yang kapkavla ani jingwa tang mukbaki kyo yongre sayore. Jesu kale salne. Jesu kanga tepdal mabunala yore.
Leso.
Tem mabunala du. Tende shine kombi yakbu. Jesu nang hako reis. Jijana hako sayoros. Rerekan lagwa medu. Hamagona tepnal pesewo yore.
Leso. So we just have to do this over and over and over again. We have to habituate over and over again to the experience of shamatha, to the view of shamatha through practice. And that's how it develops. And just part of the package that comes along with that training.
Maybe it's part of the package? Not really, yeah? Comes along with that is better. Yeah. First one, delete. So it's not correct, you don't need to translate.
Thought it was cute.
Delete my English. Yeah. Comes along better, yeah.
It's not part of the package, but rather comes along with the practice, is some qualities and also some faults, we could say. Another way to talk about it is in terms of nyam, or meditative experiences. And mainly they're categorized as being part of either bliss, clarity, or non-thought. So these happen along the way. And conversely, the experiences of dullness and agitation also happen. And this is written in many books. It's clearly described. I think many of you already know this quite well, so I don't think I need to go into detail every time. If you don't know, it's clearly written in the books.
If it's not in the books, then you ask Mr. Google. Omniscient Google. Then jing mok tipsum yong me jingwa da mo ba yong we kapsula jingwa yong na des jing sing de me jing se sent pa ye pe den de kapsula yana long gi jen long chuk yana za too much no kind ko agitated yana chakpa do sha do ji nam do ji jen jen then sem de pa yeng do re de kapsula then handshake practice jen long rang ba sha lu rang ba sha pa des pa lo cha de zo to ne de ge de sal ko re es.
So in the case of agitation, when we're training in shamatha, when we have strong agitation, then this can also often come from our lung being agitated and up, being too stimulated, can also be due to our channels
The nervous structure.
being sort of nervous and too agitated.
I don't know what you call this. Huh? That's nice language, I know.
Hyper aroused.
That, those are really huh? Like too sensitive.
Too sensitive.
What do you call this? That's a nice language.
Hypersensitive.
Huh? That's fragile. All of that I know, but there's one particular. All of that.
Hypervigilant.
Huh? Yeah, that's also vulnerable. Vulnerability. Vulnerable is good.
Yeah.
It's too fragile. All this, so many things. It's become like a little vulnerable. Then, ready to react. Fragile also. Fragile is good. I like that. Fragile, vulnerable. Others are good, quite strong. University language. University language. That's good also. Yeah. Then fragile, then vulnerable, fragile, so ready to react. Like overly vigilant.
Hypervigilant.
Hyper vigilant also, yeah. Because of vulnerable and fragile, whole the nervous system, subtle body, and also affect the gross body. In the West, we have this. It gives a lot of good things, but it gives suffering to you also, unnecessarily, or overly care. No, sometimes it could be destructive to other. Mom, I'm okay. Mom. So because of mom, kind, overreact, which is good, but sometimes you have to watch out. If you believe that is reality like that, then it's a problem. If you have, it's no problem. Then you know, oh, yeah, I have a little bit overreacted kind of person. So you know, yeah, I know, you know, we know. So then it's less. But if you really believe that is actual relative truth, then there's a problem. Yeah, sorry.
So the first would be the lung is activated, is too high. The second would be this issue of sensitivity, fragility, vulnerability. And another reason we can be agitated is we have a lot of desire. So if we're feeling a lot of desire, it can be agitating. And the method for this is handshake practice and then lung practice, base breathing. So bringing the lung down back to its natural place can really help. Handshake practice can help also. Essentially, we're using relaxation to work against agitation and clearing away that obstacle.
Then ta chung vậy nè, mà muk.
Mukbang.
뭐 되나 되니 this lubu this gesture pingres this the 제로 미야 다 오그릉부 판 살차데 this refreshing 살차데 this tension 나만 살자 용요로 yesterday maybe you had a salwa the salwa de lamsang 즉 recall 더 chen 등ala miktan kanga chen 당상에 로정 대는 양갈에 되게 젠트 파살네 양 normal 칼리그레스.
And if we find that we're dull and drowsy, then we can shake the body. And
this one 3 or 5 times. Wow. Already. This only. Breathe out. Not like this. Then you might get injured. In subtle body, relax. And the gross body is moving. And breath is breathing out, throwing out. But not like this. Sometimes it's fine, It's like a bamboo. How bamboo moves. Yeah.
Or we can open our eyes really wide and look up and take a long breath out.
And stop there for a while. And then somehow you need to come out of this hazy. You wear one hat, yuck, hair, double. And with a little bit of guts. Why are you going down? Because you're afraid of clarity, afraid of incoming. So you make the receptor lull because you're afraid of receiving something. And that coming from outside something might destroy your state. So you make glass a little bit dull, that you don't see it. So open the glass, see, I don't mind. Whoever comes, let come. Not come. Who cares? So time to time you need that also. Then just Then it okay, sorry.
So then we remember the clarity that we may have recognized before. So maybe yesterday we recognized some clarity and we bring it back quickly in the manner of recalling or refreshing.
Sometime it will come.
And clear away that obstacle, and then we relax again in a normal way.
Ini desal medo binyamona yabures delan zamba shamba kaya majes.
And if the nyam of bliss, clarity, and thought happen, that's good, but don't fall into clinging and attachment to them.
Ini di jesola, ta salwa di jong yore, ta salwa digi chotam chela ngoni ni yore sere, konsup jung ngo china, dondam jung ngo chik. Ini konsup tela kasalawa na je, lobe konsup ta yangda konsup chik ni, ta sem di yang cho chik re, zogda tiro la sopa, yang sem koran yang cho chik re, sem koran tela yang, ani konsup dembi ko ngor churwiki, yangda konsup dembi ngor churwiki sem chikda, ani dondam konsup dembi ngor churwiki sem chik, yangda konsup tela lobe konsup chunang ka wangda churwiki sem chik, ta tena yongo re, te indu ta ngazo karichewa re se na, lobe konsup chunang ka wangda churwiki sem te, yowiki sem te, miwa chini matuk, matur, maying wa chini salwa tengla share, salwa de kare se na, sem korang rangshin salshin rikpa sengti ta ngoshere, sem ngoshere. Shine tame yawo, nyamne chewa shina, you know your mind. ina samji neluk mo shibare sana sheyo mare ta samji nelu tan la pa be kaus pa bare string sem tan la pa be kap zoso samji nelu tan la pa be kap
Lasso. So then there's the aspect of sustaining clarity. And as was mentioned before, every phenomena has a relative and an ultimate nature. And mind is no different. Mind is just another phenomena, like anything else, like a smell or a sound or a visual object. And so mind as well has a relative and an ultimate nature. As we mentioned before, mind can be distorted and confused, this relative nature, or it can be authentic and unconfused. And so when it's distorted and confused, it's very turbulent and constantly wavering. And so this practice of stabilizing clarity helps to bring that constantly moving, confused mind into a stable, unconfused mind. And so it's unconfused and undistracted. And that, because the nature of the relative nature of the mind is to be clear and aware. It's the unique quality of the mind from amongst all phenomena. Its unique relative nature is to be clear and aware. And so we're recognizing that clear and aware relative nature and then abiding or remaining in that. And this is the job of shamatha. We need to recognize that nature. We should come to know our own mind in its unconfused nature. And this is not its ultimate nature, its underlying ultimate nature. This is its relative nature that we need to know in this practice. The ultimate nature of mind will be recognized at a different practice.
pena meki rangshin de kare chug rangshin kare sai rangshin kare kokha ka yorwa kunzu ku chu ta ne bala ranasu rangshin re yorwa.
For example, fire has a particular relative nature. Water has a particular relative nature, and so on. All the different relative phenomena have a particular set of qualities or relative nature that's unique and different from each other.
meki rangshin tsawa chu rangshin sherchin lemba lasoba.
The relative nature of fire is to be hot and burning. The relative nature of water is to be wet and moving,
and so on.
and so on.
Tene da semgi relative nature kares na sarshin rikpa.
And what is the relative nature of mind? It's to be clear and aware.
Di nature ti nature shambala yo mares yo bayena de semre de mena de semare.
So this nature is not present in other types of phenomena. If another type of phenomena has the nature of being clear and aware, that means it's mind. And if it doesn't have that nature, it's not mind.
Tene da megi nelu kares chug nelu kares.
So then, what is the underlying true nature of fire? What is the underlying true nature of any phenomena?
Emptiness. Emptiness like that. Da ming mang mo yore.
We can say emptiness, and there's also many other names.
Any relative ki sem ki rangshin sarchin rikpa ki sem ki rangshin samji nelu kares. Relative ki
And so, given that the relative nature of the mind is to be clear and aware, what is the ultimate nature of the mind?
emptiness, right? So emptiness de sem changba ki underlined nature nelu remidoas.
So emptiness, does that mean emptiness is only the ultimate underlying nature of mind?
No. Good. No. Say no. 저 탐지기 내로래 마도 추다 추진단 춘이 있으니 예와 연구래. 다 추진 단 춘이 있어 양 안하다 terminology. concept라 양다 concept라 추진 세그래. 아니 내록들라 춘이 세그래.
So it's the underlying nature of all phenomena. There's another type of terminology to talk about this, which is sort of like,
Typical, yeah.
yeah.
That's why I
Nang sudan netsu lamna?
did it.
Dundat rabadora?
Doubt it.
Chichandan chini?
Okay.
Nang sudan netsu?
Right.
Doesn't exactly translate very well, but we could say the way things appear and their underlying nature, or the way they actually are.
That's yeah. The need the 동문이대 주 탐지기 내로래. 선지 내로 장마 말에 죽지 내로 장마 말에 다이 내로 장마 말에 콘데기 나추 여바 직 세바 여바 탐지기 내로대 데레스.
So emptiness is not just the underlying nature of mind. It's not just the underlying nature of form, not just the underlying nature of sound. It's the underlying nature of all phenomena, no matter what they are. Anything that can appear and exist, its underlying nature is the same.
Anything can exist, appear, 용 초바대 동문이기 같으래 세요. 동문이기 동문이라 땐 동문이 임발라 땐 kindness of just way of saying, yeah.
You could say that anything that appears and exists, anything that's possible, appears due to the kindness of emptiness.
I just say it, kindness. Look nice, yeah. That kind, I don't know, emptiness has kindness or not. But 동니 임발라 때네 아니 땐종은 나와 샤르투 그래 세요.
The meaning is that because of the underlying emptiness, all the phenomena of cause and effect can manifest.
아니 최탐지기 underline 내룩대 딱바 직보 라완쟁이나 아니 추진다 소바도 용투 말에 세요.
If the underlying nature of phenomena were permanent, singular, and independent, not everything could appear. Nothing could really appear.
가사로와
Everything would be blocked.
요사로 요와미도
There'd be no movement.
차로와 생은 요 말에 차로와 생은
There'd be no like dawning, appearing, or arising.
다 dawn 쟁이 나와 탐지야 그 동일에 마다와래 세요.
The dawning, the appearing or arising, does not go beyond emptiness.
So we are trapped in emptiness. Wait. Sometimes questions spoil my teaching. Mine goes and then forgot the point. 다 드레진 다 텔테다 우치게 아니 다 비바샤나 생도 용거래. 돈이 도베게 탑라. 돈이 도베 람직 비바샤나 너무 산제바게 더 곰탐지 주도나 신에다 랑돈이 나라 두고래. 다 아니 신에 랍도 덴베 랑동기 아니 랑동 신에 랍도 덴베 랑동기 녀몬 넘버 가려. 녀몽 넘버 점버 셰셰네 가야서나 다 조데 부디스키 맨다 고바데 뉴몽 둘야게 뉴몽 시야게 타르바토야게 탑시고래 대인도 다 타르바토발라 아니 타르바탑 마중겐기 탑 조데 아니 덴진 데목 덴진 생겨져 데목 록버즘바 추탐지 동니도 이나야 추징 나와 탐지 란신 동니 이나야 데 임바데 랑 로라 곰마톰 로라 샤르마톰 데 샤르마토 발테니 추징 나와 탐젤라 덴버즌 샤당이나 샤당 덴버즌 나자이나 나잘 덴버즌 다 이제 데목 덴진 록시지기 데목 덴버즌도 데 녀모 탐지 조투고 말이에요. nyumongani chobar chebala tangbu shine dia buten tene langtong yong langtong gi ten ni chu tamji gi ni rangshin te ni demba mandus demba mission do konzob ji nawa na soban tangi dos nang shimbe kapso yang rangshin gi demba mares ni de chi 하고는 덴젤로 넣어봐지 거래. That understanding affects 덴zen. 덴zen은 게 탐지 덴바레도 챙겨래. In subconscious or unconsciously, the 덴바레도 챙겨. The conscious power 요 말이야. So that train chen conscious la reason ten, jumzen ten, 야 unconscious 기 제검 제 활동 제검 그 활동데 제 갈래 되니 transmit chen unconscious ki nangla pacha densil lokwa kale pa do ni nyomon na jom che gres
laso. So the path to realizing that underlying nature of all phenomena is called vipassana. And in a certain way, all the meditation, all the technique in the Buddha Dharma can be boiled down to two, shamatha and vipassana. And their relationship is captured by this famous quote from Shivahlagaro. Chunjunanda. From Shantideva in The Way of the Bodhisattva, when he said, from a well-established shamatha, vipassana then completely conquers the afflictive emotions. And so basically this indicates the underlying purpose for the practice of Dharma. The purpose is to tame our kleshas, to tame our afflictive emotions, or we could say for liberation. And that's the purpose. And in order to achieve that, we have to deal with the confusion of reification, or the confusion of solidification, concretization. This is a incorrect or faulty way of clinging to how things are. Because even though the nature of all phenomena is emptiness and always has been emptiness, not knowing that, we cling as if it's real and solid and true. We give it more reality than it actually has. And therefore, when anger arises, not remembering that anger is an empty phenomena, we think it's real, solid anger, and we fall under its power, and we believe in it, and we reify it. And the same with attachment, and the same with confusion. And because of that, we're not able to liberate our kleshas. We're not able to liberate our afflictive emotions. And so if we want to liberate them, we need to establish shamatha and then experience the vipassana that emerges out of that shamatha. And that vipassana realizes that while things are not inherently concrete or solid, they're not real, they still vividly appear. And when they appear, they're not real. And that's what the Vipassana realizes. And that is what slowly dissolves our reification, our habit of solidifying and reifying everything. And this is something that takes time because it has to filter down, or that conscious understanding has to filter down into our unconscious, where the habitual patterns of reification are quite deep. And so we analyze to see the inconcrete or the lack of solidity, and that understanding then gets transmitted down into our unconscious and slowly changes the habitual patterns of reifying everything, of solidifying everything. And that slowly can allow us to conquer or dissolve our afflictive emotions.
다 돈이 곰 세요래 돈이 추담지기 내로 돈이 레 당보 거 돈이 저 곰세 돈이 많이 바지 레ten 된 넘버 산지바기 곰 카시 되는 요래 로종그르 바카시 내로 당 만드나야 이나 펜도 쳐보 요할 때네 곰샹에 카시요 돈이 곰 생인데 얘네 되게 말해 그런 내로던 tumba 디 내로 임바테 당보 네 상동 제검을 때네 임바 셰 다셰바테 양도 곰네 양 될라 되는 바자장 그래서 바자 생이 줘라 된지게 바자데 장조 된 돈이 곰 생이 되죠 돈이 탕바지 뭐셰바 잠지기 아니 바자라 바자기 빵도고 말에 졸도고 말에 되는 돈이 곰 생이
So we say meditating on emptiness or habituating to emptiness. This is not a matter of imagining something that's not real and training in an imaginary thing. There are some types of Buddhist meditation that work with an imagined reality that's not in line with the underlying reality, like certain aspects of mind training or lojong. But this is not like that. Meditating on emptiness is not like that because it is based in the truth, the underlying truth, that everything is lacks intrinsic solidity. Everything's nature is emptiness. And so the meditation is recognizing what is as it is. It's not bringing in an imaginary reality that's out of alignment. It is fully in alignment with the underlying truth. And so the job of analysis or vipassana is to come to see or understand, recognize or realize that truth as it is. And then we have to habituate to it over and over again. And the habituation over and over again to that clear seeing of how it is purifies the habitual patterns. It's not enough to just recognize emptiness once. Just recognizing emptiness once does not have the power to purify our habitual patterns of reification.
다 근데 조금 당부 상동 조금 중고로도 제 상동 능라 조금 지어래 대 조금대 제지더니 갈이야 아니 셔럽지 고라 셔럽지 제기래야 대 담지군에 레샤 내로도 동바레샤 낭 술대 아니 유마다 그래도 생이들이 동보동장 사마송아 동보동장 동보 체다게 동보도 많이 봐 동백이 랑신기 대 아니 나와지도 나와 대양 된줍지 나와 말해 간적 나와래서는 주만 나와나 지래도 스더니 동당 동부 대래 중국이 된 중국이 나와 되니 거야 거질랜 된 셈이 줄은 녜셰지 제기래 아 되더라도 그래 다들 코 부디스키 위구 찍더래다 동당 된중 이 돈디하고 하고 동부 최다양 많이 봐 동부 매바양 많이 봐 동부 여바양 많이 봐 요미 좁에 타 이길래 잡아지 아니 가연서는 동부 최다양은 된중 나와 용성 말이 된중은 나와도 야고 딱 봐야나 아니 된중 거 가야 맞춰봐도 용성 말이 소 맞춰신도 năng 신도 맞춰 생이티 야와데 하고 오딱 거와지 얘들은 녜셰지 제그래 녜셰데 그냥 하는 녀몽몽보 고는 그래 세거래 녀몽몽보 specifies 제 도그래스 딜로레 셔럽 좀 오르저비 로치래
So this analytic meditation, or this process of investigation, is all part of vipassana. It's all one of the parts of vipassana. And it is a process of prajna, or insight and wisdom, arising. And the insight that arises understands that the underlying nature is empty, is emptiness, and it understands that the way things appear is illusory, or like an illusion or a dream.
Sorry, I have to say that. I don't want to say it, but there's no choice. I have to say it.
This is not a view of emptiness that falls into nihilism. It's not saying it's a nothingness kind of emptiness. While it's empty, from emptiness, all appearances vividly appear. But that doesn't mean that they're reified or solidified appearances. They appear due to the inconceivable net of interdependence, or cause and effect. And this is a crucial Buddhist view, is this integration of emptiness and interdependence. It's a crucial Buddhist view, understanding that emptiness and interdependence work together. Emptiness is not nihilistic, it's not nothingness. It's also not something. It's not a non-existence. It's also not an existence. It's beyond existing and non-existing, those kinds of constructs or boxes. If it were nothing at all, then the interdependence of everything couldn't occur and manifest. If it were some permanent absence, likewise, nothing could appear. Or if it was a permanent something, nothing could appear. And so the key point is, without being established, everything vividly appears. Everything vividly appears while being unestablished.
Okay, repeat this.
The key thing is, without being established, everything vividly appears. Everything vividly appears without being established. And that is connected to prajna. That is called the mind of prajna, or insight, and that is what leads to the pacification of afflictive emotions.
Tati sharabde, the sharabre, segore. The sharabla niora, 아니 샤랍 생겨지다 샤르지 바로 쳔바 생겨지 니
So that's called sharab or prajna, which means insight. And there's really two kinds of prajna. You can say there's prajna and then there's prajna paramita, or the perfection of wisdom.
one more time
There's two kinds of prajna. There's just prajna.
prajnas joking no, it doesn't go like this
Prajnas?
oh prajna
I don't know.
since I'm trying to learn
So prajnas. There's prajna and there's prajna paramita.
many waters no many water many kinds of water lots of waters no so same kind this one same similar because both is prajna both is water no could be I don't know it's easy to judge someone 다 셔럽 되게 약부요래 셔럽 되게 약부요래 저 셔럽 들 때는 니시제 돼 펜도 쳐부요래 그래서 이나야 그 좁아 달메르다 그 다른 셰바 코랑라 오 셰비 코랑 셰바 코랑라 this pollution this 요래 주담 좀 mellam jemada 버래도 쟁행게 로는 전당지도 와 전당들 댄신 쇼네 셰바 코랑라 셰바 되게 주담지 동단 댄중 하고 mellam jemada 하고 나야 다로 셰바 코랑 즉 하공gen기 로 코랑라 댄신 참고 저바 요래 데레 유유진도와 셰바 코랑라 유유진기 니지 라데도 다른 total totu mere total yimba shi total yimba ngeshi che ina total re jenge sheba korang to dalmaso de tarela teni outcome bibashana de kore se kore
Chesa ani sharab ki rimba ramanda yoro.
teni that the outcome ki total ki ngor jurbeki sheba de ta sharaji parachi mare
Oh.
total tokbeki sheba de sharaji parachi mare sharab re sharab total tokbeki sharab korayang toba tawangala 아니 람바도바 나섬 좀 셔라 바로친 마지 맹가 남긴 거니 소소랑 렉스 지랑 하고 되어져 그다 랍 가야 맞으면 딜람나요 저바자 딜람나 디레 딜 가야 내가 뭐부터 마탐제다 자와 랑르비 싱을라랑에 즉 오카야 마임바 대시 용화게 가라 total 전대고
Naso. Ani ji majunga gi badu sharab kyang bare sharab paratujin chama.
말에 셔럽 때는 펜도처부 요레스 녀몽 비스파이스 제그레스 녜녜시데 셔럽 때는 녜시 제그라 셔럽지 바로치 말 때는 녜시지 메제 가에 메라 코로 고 용사라와 용나 지라고 말아 고 용사 노멀레 excited 메르다
So there's so
Did you
there's
sleep well?
I slept pretty well. Allergies is down.
Allergy?
A little bit better. Yeah.
Okay, good. So far you did well.
Thank you.
Before that you did very well.
Thank you.
Please keep the share market. Don't drop. And 12:30 drop. Just
So the experience of prajna or insight has a lot of benefits.
no prajna paramita. Prajna.
We can distinguish between prajna and prajna paramita. And prajna has a lot of benefits. It can understand a lot, and this can really pacify our disturbing emotions. It can understand the empty nature of things. It can understand that things arise interdependently due to cause and effect. It can understand the dreamlike, illusory quality of appearances, which is not in conflict with their nature.
Also mere eye.
Also understand the mere eye. It can even understand simplicity beyond constructs. But that mind that understands that still has subtle clinging or grasping to itself. It hasn't recognized its own nature. There's still a subtle subject and object. There's still that mind that's knowing these things as an object of knowledge. So even if it knows simplicity beyond construct, it hasn't become simplicity beyond construct.
Good. It knows?
Even if it knows simplicity beyond construct, it hasn't become simplicity beyond construct.
Itself. Itself, not become, but it knows.
For that, we need to move to the outcome vipassana, which is also called prajnaparamita, where it becomes it. It directly tastes or experiences it. And it's not something that can be captured in words. It's like the famous quote about Mother Prajnaparamita, ineffable, indescribable, unknowable, the very nature of space, and so forth. It's the domain of self-knowing original wisdom. This is something that can only be known through self-knowing wisdom. So it has to be, it has to dawn experientially. And that dawning of the experiential vipassana, or the outcome vipassana, is different than the process vipassana of prajna. That process prajna has a lot of benefits, but it's still not, doesn't have the direct taste that goes beyond. And so when it becomes simplicity, it's no longer like a state of excitement of discovering a new thing, because it's something that's already tasted directly.
Not exciting. Not excitement. Sorry. It's a different kind of excitement. More close to gluten-free. Organic kind of exciting. Gluten-free is very hard. I like it. It benefits me, but very hard to keep. It's like a prajna paramita. The outcome vipassana the condition is.
So how does the outcome vipassana happen?
Tati luksuni yore, chekor, chekomche, chekom tangde cheonde, shini ngara, shini teme de ngara de ngalso. Ya shini teme korang ngo de yang de chekomche. Neba, sala, tome meyo, ko ngo kare do, ya, jodang, ko ngo kare do, ko nyeg mara. Shini de ngo de nyeg mara, sala, tome meyo, sheba chik, salange, de ngo de tongpa de, ngo le chekomche, di shini de ngo de, tongpa ra, kaya manye ba chagare, de manye ba ngala lolo, sha. Yang, denzin da chik lep yung re, anyo yung le, de, yana you hold on state, kaya manye ba become state, slowly. Yang, chekomche, then de sambatang process pe bashana de, che, and process pe bashana tang che on de, ngishi jen, ha, chutamche, unne redo, ha, then very like satisfied, chik mind le on de, de ngol ta, de kawado, satisfied mind de denduro ane de ngo de yang yeg mare yang manye ba yang korang shini teme na re de ngo manye ba na kan de lang tong da shini ni pando sondo kale chen nam she ga chen shini ting upgrade chan shini lang tong ngo na par serta de ko lang tong jekom lang tong de mayin ba jogom ge lang tong de ngala lang do jing ngo ya left lo su chik teres shila namni pelmar jar sang pelmar gom sang jo ta tsiya wo tring do tinde shila tang langdong ni pelma che de langdong de process langdong re
Lasso.
ani kale shine de la process langdong ge che kom che on de ko ngo ma ni on de ne real langdong outcome langdong le ya jur sigra ba can be become like that eventually.
Nyan nambo manyepala test tenzin shuna yang catching. So there's two basic approaches to outcome vipassana. One is through shamatha and process vipassana. And so we
Alternating.
An alternating practice of shamatha and process vipassana, or investigation. And we train in shamatha and rest in that non-conceptual clarity of nowness and settle the mind in that. And then from there, the process of investigation looks back at that state and tries to find the essence, find the owner of that state, and cannot find it.
Take practice la ne ju resum sagre. Mare jung ne dosums.
Jungne drosums. The name of that practice is arising, remaining, and vanishing. Looking for arising, remaining, and vanishing. And it doesn't find something. It can't find the essence or the identity or owner of that state of clear, thought-free nowness. It can't find the reified thing. And then we rest in the not finding. And so that could lead to outcome vipassana. Of course, we could also then, reification comes back and then reifies the state of not finding, or the mind that doesn't find. And then we have to practice again and again to work with that reification also. Or we contemplate things until we get some certainty in like interdependence and emptiness and so on. And then we have a sense of satisfaction in our certainty. And then we look at that satisfied mind. Who is that? Where is that? What is that satisfied mind? the
just
nature of the knower.
mere satisfied with absence of reified eye. Say,
It's just a mere satisfied mind without a reified eye.
good.
And so basically, through this combination of shamatha and vipassana, or alternating shamatha and investigation, gradually vipassana emerges out of this shamatha. And we can say that shamatha then is upgraded. And there's a term for this, which is like
Napar.
shamatha blazes forth as wisdom, or wisdom blazes forth from shamatha.
Upgrade is good also. Yeah. No? Economic to business class upgrade. But still is in the plane.
And then the resting meditation becomes that upgraded shamatha. And that could be also called outcome vipassana, which then the resting quality is the upgraded shamatha with the insight, which is also called chodral, which means simplicity beyond construct. In the Mahamudra system of the 4 yogas, that's the second yoga, which is called the yoga of simplicity.
다 따와 나네. 다 부디스트 따와 다 데레스. 제곰당 제곰 죽을 상동 제용해 줘로. 다때 부디스트 따와 동다 텐중 저바 차와메 바스. 다 따고 다 텐 따와 텐중기 따와 텐중기 따와 생데 데레스.
This is also, we can say, the Buddhist view. This process vipassana, or investigation, which gives rise to outcome vipassana, or prajna, or insight,
바르냐 바람이다.
prajna paramita, that the view of emptiness and interdependence is that's considered the Buddhist view.
저바 차와메 봐.
And
따와 텐중 저바 차와메 바스. 니도와.
and so there's a famous saying: the view is interdependence. 통당 텐중 or 텐중.
텐중. 주바레 동다 텐중이.
The view is interdependence and emptiness, and the conduct is nonviolence.
다 죽었잖아. 동단 텐중 따와 부디스트 따와 크리스천리티 따와 힌두이즘 따와 주데이즘 따와 다 그런 거 레레어 따와셔로 부디스트 따와 죽었어때 가와 죽었으나 딜라 되니도 죽으래스. 저봐 말해. 저봐 almost same. 처음에 간갈 열어와.
니 디기 갑수디 타와디 아니 인지민지 아니 락동기
뭐시오.
셔럽기
약간
타와레 록 향마
예가르 봇
냠도
냠도서는 helping each other. So 탑단 탑중도 그래.
So this, we could identify this as the unique and particular Buddhist view. We could say that each religious tradition has their own view, a Christian view, or a Jewish view, or a Hindu view, and Buddhism also has a particular view, and the view is this: it's interdependence and emptiness. And I asked Rinpoche if this just referred to the vipassana insight arising as that view, as opposed to the intellectual understanding of it. And Rinpoche said it's both, and they help each other. One is like the method, and one is like the outcome.
다 체크 탑 체크 더니 뭐로 쳐야 되레스 디 다이 탑 당부디 ngoro tongpa dindere chik tongpa yumzen chi sharab chi kone gom sharab la ten sharab zoor chuni human sharab chi yora tumu mayi pa sharab ti sharab ki chuni tani kale kale jogom chi kale kale tangpo jogom shinegi jogom re teni tangpo jogom de logi jogom re te kale shine napan teni tutoral ji ngole lang song tong do ta tongpa ni ngosu nyamsu nyong do yong choro ta lamchik tere ta lamchik details che zawan mene ina tang ti chegi minduks ti tongpa ni tutoral zan chegi minduk ta karchigo na tendeni lalama children ta ya ta chega tab another way yores to tab sing yore te ngazu chenas zochengi so zochen will mamu the zochen dang mamu dra dang ta parje parame that extended from there.
So there, so that's all sort of one way, which is the relies on one's own wisdom, one's own prajna. Rangi, shut up.
Shut up, wisdom chik pare.
Drama. Intelligence.
Intelligence, yeah, intelligence.
Okay, so yeshi la wisdom la lamna.
So I like to make this kind of distinguish. I don't know, distinguish. Huh?
Distinction.
Distincted. Distinguished. This took for 5 hours. Distinguished. We didn't use those muscles. It's a different kind of muscle. Distinguished. In English, intelligent, prajna, wisdom. Tende cheshana, pache. Zawada chik parawa. Tangazuli intelligent ji duwa rangshing. We will not say we have wisdom. Wisdom di intelligent di jang ni nyamne chende nga wisdom ta chayo. Tangburan you have wisdom sana kandena. Tigina mina English language I don't know. Ta tangbu ngazule both birthright. Ngazule intelligent human intelligent ji duwa. Di intelligent di pechotani. Teni sharab ngol ya doyachi. Sharab ji parado chimbe ngol ya do. Teni kali ishi cha. Sharab ishi. 다 무드슬라 셔럽도 직바도 셔럽 이제 되니 쳔바 다 그래
오야 쳔바
wisdom도 되네 숨쉬기도 와 이제 나한테 다 간대나
there's a few different terms that Rinpoche is distinguishing in Tibetan. Sherab, Yeshe, and Kempa, which is sort of like insight, original wisdom, and omniscient knowing, or something like that.
Insight, no, intelligent. Intelligent,
or intelligence, then prajna, or insight, then prajna paramita, and then yeshe, or like original wisdom or something, primordial wisdom.
Do you have, by birthright, do you have insight? But you have intelligence, no? Yeah. So, huh? Hopefully. Sorry, I heard hopeful. Maybe I'm hungry. Whole food, I heard. You said hopefully, I heard whole food. we have a human intelligence, birthright, you know. That tell did you know that is simple way. The pejutan, the maximum pejutan.
So basically,
Chuntung sharap saro. The lamna churtung. That tambo sharap re ta. Jiten ke shego mar tambo. Sharap jiyo re sigurta. The sharap the intelligent lagwinso, insight lagwinso, wisdom lagwinso, kar lagwins. Michel mila sharap jiyo ra.
so we have a natural intelligence that we're born with. And that we can say that is what we use or harness in this practice. And then that can become the wisdom of or the insight of vipassana.
That the tapji jejoro, the intelligent dilla, and the intelligent further develop chain, then Jacob dang that tenzuki chutam jig nelu kandire that we get it towards to that.
So that natural intelligence can be directed or channeled towards in a particular way, which is to investigate the nature of things, the nature of phenomena, the nature of the observer. And that way of channeling our intelligence, it can become the insight of vipassana.
Oh, that's hakoda. Then that insight the process, outcome insights the total seyor. That the tongmani tes ngosheoro.
And that that type of insight is sort of like these aha moments of understanding, which then are developed and mature into an outcome type of insight or an outcome type of prajna, which is also called the experience of simplicity beyond constructs, a direct experience of that nature.
Yang chuke kaje nangla dame to bishirabs that denzin refa amido. Tengi chingi shi nye then dame baya hako dame to bishirabya segres.
Another dharma term for this is the prajna that recognizes selflessness, or the absence of self. And so
Self means refa ameba. Kunzub ayta yoro.
And that means the absence of a reified I. Of course, there's a relative type of self.
Mere I. Then do. Okay, good. That then do that tella. And I get but that is hakore and jebata lagi me ngama mangola sasu. And demna yore. And that some sing that dendrup sing that jensen and social I any permanent atma kind of I that the Nijiyewa Yore is.
So this is connected to the issue of the self, and we identify like 5 different kinds of self, which is, I've said many times, and it's in the books, so I don't need to go into it again. But basically, there's the mirror I, the reified I, the self-cherishing I, the social I, and the permanent Atma, kind of permanent soul kind of I.
That dinala permanent souls yomare. Soul yujure.
So there's probably a soul, but not a permanent soul.
Then that the tamje nani tata nganzo nyams nganzo diminish makabate karresana matoroa torsago mapang bate dasam dire shamba denzola ta so payate den ta denzire and den nyamdola da jensen de nyuru tane tene ta jensen ta jensen nyuru tare es.
So amongst these, the one that we don't scatter, the one that we don't destroy and abandon, is this mere I, a mere sense of self.
Now, at this point, yeah.
The one that we do go after and dissolve is that reified, concretized, solidified sense of self, the reified I. That is what we are trying to dissolve, and that helps to then reduce the power of the self-cherishing, or the habit of self-cherishing I.
Then you mix a self-cherishing I, self-centered cherishing I, the nyuru tayala, ta chanjuk sem sengde, kunsup chanjuk sem sengde, chanjuk sem nidoa, tondam chanjuk sem de tere, tatalap sengde, shi la langdong tere, langdong. Ta kunsup chanjuk sem sengde, ta lojong cheni, ta jensen me batang, chanjuk sem lam chasa, yoro ta bodhisattva way of life. Then ta dashin nyamba, dashin jawa, dawe shen jawa chanchu sem kom, ta lol kome jaya tila. Then nying chamba ta nying ji zor jurbeki lam tila. Ta tawa choba tsaba meba sengde tini yungore.
So that mainly the practice that reduces the self-cherishing, needy, self-centered kind of habit patterns is called relative bodhicitta practice. So ultimate bodhicitta practice is what we've been talking about just before, with simplicity and so on. But the relative bodhicitta practice is the mind trainings. And so, exchanging self and other, equalizing self and other, cherishing others more than we cherish ourselves, and so on. All of the lojong mind training practices involve relative bodhicitta, and they specifically work against the habit of self-cherishing and self-centeredness, and are meant to develop love and compassion, and are part of the conduct of nonviolence as well.
Ina ta tangbo lojong jaya yakbo tarete, ani ngarang nyungwala modern life ki, modern life resang human being chi yora condition kare. I'm not blaming modern life, but I love modern life. Especially medicine world, amazing. No? I cannot see you well now. Modern life, kindness. So many good things. But it has also need to pay a price, no? The modern life la denzin de shukchadu. Denzin de become more sophisticated denzin de. But that effect comes into the self-cherishing. Look like we have a self-cherishing problem, but in fact, deep down, tana reify problem. Then lamsang reify I ki nesul yabu hamagoje lamsang ani lojong jen dawe dajen chamba the gomsang kalikaudu. Especially essence love the mena the lamsang dajen nyamba dajen jawa sen the gomto kalikaudu. The indu ngarang so da denzin shigwi tab mangbula yore tegana shimba essence love connect jagi tab mangbu shig yore. Inaya chanju samseng de pe mase yapore amazing da dashin nyamba dashin jawa dawe chanji dawe shen jawa chanju sam dongni ningje expression love and compassion then yongtum pe mase yaporo. And yeah.
So it's possible, of course, to just start practice with relative bodhicitta practice, with the mind trainings, lojong trainings, love and compassion, and so on. And these are wonderful practices, but it's my opinion that in the modern world, it's better to start with ultimate bodhicitta and connecting to essence love. Because I feel that the type of reification that we have is quite sophisticated, quite strong now. We think that our main problem is self-cherishing, but if we look deeply inside of it, we can see that the real secret problem is reification, solidification, that then is influencing our self-cherishing. And for that reason, I feel that first, and if we don't deal with that reification, if we don't understand it and start working on it, and we try to jump directly into the Lojong relative bodhicitta practices, equalizing self and other, exchanging self and other, cherishing others more than we cherish ourselves, it doesn't generally go very well because the reified I has been untouched underneath. And also, if we haven't connected to essence love, training in those practices and then trying to train in love and compassion generally doesn't go very well. And so for that reason, I tend to emphasize going after the reified I, or uprooting or challenging the reified I first, and connecting with essence love first, and then moving into those practices. Those practices are wonderful.
Really, very, very wonderful. That didn't imagine self-torturing after a long time practicing rang la self-torturing gi extra guilty oyaki nyangamamudos.
And if we don't if we don't do it this way, there's the danger that it'll turn into self-torturing. Some kind of guilt complex will arise through our practice.
The guilt yongna handshake che. Guilt yongna, why is guilt? What is that? What is the essence?
If we do experience guilt, we should handshake it and look into it and ask, what is this essence of this guilt? Which is also emptiness.
How much is it is? How much it is, and how much is yours? You understand? Huh? Because you learned from handshake already. How much is the breach, and how much is my imprint? And two kind of imprint: relative imprint. Sorry. Learn habitual pattern imprint or karmic imprint. So karmic imprint, emptiness, perfect. Because karma is also empty. So that in so 탑직 that 되다 뭐 ngoto chetres. 아니 so 야 영나 된가서 ngoto che고스.
Lakmaya Lapurabe?
Oh, laura. 참아서.
Distis Lag.
Okay, sure.
She said before, so all of this is under one style of practice, which is the alternating practice of shamatha and vipassana, which mainly relies on our own natural intelligence to investigate. At first, our resting practice is shamatha, ordinary shamatha, and our analytic practice is just our normal intelligence thinking and investigating. And slowly it gets upgraded. And we can say that prajna blazes forth from that. And then our shamatha gets upgraded into a resting practice in simplicity. Our wisdom gets upgraded into outcome vipassana from process vipassana. And therefore, by the own process of intelligence upgrading to prajna, upgrading to prajna paramita, upgrading to yeshe, we come to the outcome vipassana or simplicity experience. And that is all one approach. And there's a whole nother approach, which is some people do a little bit of that, but they feel like it's not happening. I'm not experiencing simplicity. I don't quite get it. It's not becoming a direct experience for me. And then in those cases, there's also another path or option, which is the Lama directly introducing that state, and that's called the pointing out instruction.
And that, when you come back. After the break.